Hello everybody and welcome back to Devil May Cry 2. I'm Kurukan and thank you for joining me. I really wonder when I'm going to start uploading these, because I kind of want to do the thingamabobber, the review first. You know what? Let's purple orb the shit out of that. And we'll jump back in. I wonder if I could actually skip this. I mean, I do have the aerial heart. But you know what? Because I want to actually play the game, I'm going to do this instead. And mini-boss! These guys become normal enemies later on. I think. Something similar to them becomes a normal enemy. You know what? Since there's a double trigger charger thing, I can just do this. Oh, look at Trish fly. That's awesome. Oh my god, I have Dragon Ball Z powers. That is freaking awesome. I honestly did not know I could shoot lightning out of my hands. It's just like the first game. Trish, I mean, not the game itself. In some ways, I do actually, and I know I'm going to get hell for this, in some ways I actually do like this more than the first game. I mean, the first game is better in a lot of ways, particularly the story. Though I like Dante's one-liners in this game. Yes, he does actually have one-liners. He's not as edgy as people try to make him out to be. Certainly nowhere near as bad as DMC Dante. You guys know who I'm talking about. But, yeah, all things considered, I enjoy this game. I can't say it's a better game than Devil May Cry 1, or even DMC. There's a lot of less than pleasant aspects to it that I fully understand why people don't like it. But there's something about it that I do find charming. I don't think it's actually a bad game. It's a bit more run-of-the-mill as far as hack and slashes go, but that doesn't make it bad. And yeah, I was just slashing normally there. I didn't want to fly off the edge. But as a normal hack and slash game, I think it's pretty good. Now, that's as a Devil May Cry hack and slash. Oh yeah, there's a lot of problems. The timing-based combat and just sheer insanity isn't there. Granted, Devil May Cry 1 was a bit unexciting in its combat. Not that it was boring, of course, but it doesn't hold up to either of the other two games. But you could see the beginnings of it. There was stuff like the timing in Dante's attacks would change what attack you used, and I loved that aspect in the first game. That is not here as far as I can tell. The jumping is a lot better in this. Part of that's because of a better camera, and part of it's the controls I like a bit more. Now, I know a lot of people are like, but there's a single button dodge. And yeah, there doesn't need to be. I was fine with the old lock-on dodge. But, you know, I get the complaints about that. I'm not gonna knock people who are upset over that. It doesn't need the single button dodge, but I do love the dodge itself. The fact that I can dodge forward or backward in addition to side is such a blessing. Now you could argue, well, that'd make Devil May Cry 3 and 4 too easy. I don't agree with that. Though it would probably make the, whatchamacallit ability useless. The, trickster style, not ability. Oh, okay. This way, maybe? This way. But yes, this is a deeply flawed game. There's no arguing that. Another thing that I will praise this game for, and yes, I will praise this game where it's due, is the content. Not necessarily the game itself, but I mean the unlockables. You've got quite a few of them. As you can see, the bosses aren't anything real special. Come on, do the thing! There's the thing! I can't tell if Trish is stronger or weaker than Lucia. Yeah, see, the bosses ain't much. They're pretty wussy. Though, to be fair, I think some of Devil May Cry 1's bosses were maybe a bit too hard. I don't mean in the get good kind of too hard. Some of them were just kind of cheap. Especially, not Phantom, Nightmare. Sometimes Nightmare was just a pissant. Griffin could also be kind of a pain in the ass. A lot of that was because you couldn't see where you were hitting because camera. Devil May Cry 3's bosses had the occasional camera issue, but god, the game was so good, and the camera wasn't usually that big of a problem. Except for when it refuses to switch angles, and I'm stuck at a terrible one and getting my ass kicked. So, yes, I actually do think that this is a worthy Devil May Cry game, despite the less impressive combat. It's not as good as the first in a lot of ways, but some of the things it does are really great, and I'm glad they kept them. I am gonna save real quick. I mean, right here, you have 3 playable characters. Yes, Trish is basically just Dante with Goku powers when in her Devil Trigger mode, right down to a golden aura. But she's also, you know, something cool, even if she's basically just an alternate Dante skin. And speaking of Dante, I don't know if I'll do a Dante playthrough. If I do, it'll be as Trish. It's still on normal mode because hard mode's just not that much harder and not that much more interesting. Although some of the bosses actually are harder. Which is not saying a lot, but yeah.
Where's Mathieu? Mathieu? Mathieu?
Good grief. They really made a big mess, didn't they?
She's snarky. The old woman's awesome.
It sure took him a while to find this place. Oh, you have arrived, son of Sparta.
You knew him?
Oh, yes. We are the guardians of this land, Vidumali. Our clan once fought against the demons with Sparta, son of Sparta. We must ask this favor of you. You see, there's a man who's transformed our land into a demon's paradise. His name is Arius. And although he is the president of an international public corporation, he uses the demon power. Please, deal with Arius and his master for us.
Looks like it's your lucky day.
Wonderful! I am very pleased. It leads to a harbor. If you are successful, I will tell you a story about your father, son of Sparta.
And Dante's just like, screw this.
Did you
I'm going to...
obtain the Arcanus, my dear? Here is the bastone. Now we have only one piece remaining. I believe that it is in the ruin.
I know.
The joke I was making before was, Dante's just all, screw this, I'm going off to be in Shin Megami Tensei Nocturne. But I want to enhance my handguns. How about the sword? But I want to enhance the sword. I'll save up for the, purple orb, I guess. God, I love the fact that I can play as Trish. I didn't know she was playable. Or actually, I might have, but I certainly didn't know she was playable in both campaigns. Which is cool. I mean, imagine if they did that with the other Devil May Cry games, where, you know, like after beating Devil May Cry 4, if you could play as Nero, or play as Nero in Dante's stages and vice versa. Which, granted, most of them are pretty much the same, but still, it'd be something. Or if in Devil May Cry 3, you had Virgil, who went through the same stages as Dante, but imagine if you could have played as Lady back then. In addition to Dante and Virgil. Neat. Also, this game does actually show the alternate costumes during cutscenes. Although not all of the alternate costumes. The diesel costumes, or whatever they're called, I guess it was some kind of marketing campaign with a clothesline, I guess. I said I guess twice in that sentence. Those ones are all viewable during cutscenes. Save for FMVs for obvious reasons, but there's not a lot of FMVs. But, Trish and Dante's classic RE1 costume are. And from what I've heard, when you play as DMC1 Dante, you get Public Enemy as the normal battle theme, which was the first battle theme in Devil May Cry 1, as well as the voice and everything from the first game, which is pretty cool. I think you might also get his Sparta form as the transformation, but I don't know. But I think that's a neat touch. There's a lot of neat touches like that in a game that is a rushed, flawed title. You know, it's not as good as the first game, and frankly, as much as I hate to say it, it's not as good as DMC as a game. It's better as a Devil May Cry game, though. But, you know, it's pretty much a straight-up, nothing special hack and slash. But I don't think it deserves the hate it gets. I'm going to be saying that a lot, then I'll say it in the review and everything. Which, again, I don't know if I'll finish this LP first and then do the review, or if I'll record a bunch of episodes and do the review in the middle of it, or what. But I do intend on doing both. It's not like something I'm 100% committed to, but it's something I really do want to do for some stupid reason. Maybe it's because it's an LP that I can look badass at because it's easy. I think there's, 2 difficult bosses in the whole game? Trey something. He's a bunch of faces and is actually kind of a pain in the ass because you can only shoot him. And then, the final boss, Argosax the Chaos, is kind of tough. Although, again, you just shoot him, but he's tough because he actually attacks! Hey, buddies! You know, I think if you added the combat from, well, really either of the other two from the PS2 era, into this game, it would have been a lot more favorably looked upon. Yeah, the enemies still wouldn't be much of a challenge, but I think people miss the more intense combat. But who knows? That's just my thoughts on it. It is an easy game, but that's, well, how can I put it? On one hand, I do blast DMC for apparently being easier than the other games. And that's something that a lot of people agree with. Now, granted, I'm actually doing that based off of their beliefs, but the stuff that I've seen kind of makes that believable, what with the infinite error combos and whatnot. There's a lot of ways to cheese the game. But, you know, this game is also really, really easy, so that makes me a bit of a hypocrite. Which I am. I can't pretend I'm not, because I basically am. Not that I do it on purpose, but everyone has something that they're going to sooner or later be hypocritical about. It's a human thing. I'm not knocking people for... Well, okay, I do actually knock people for being hypocritical, but it's more when they don't notice their hypocrisy, or when they do it in a way that's... I don't want to say blatant, but really stupid. If that makes any sense. I mean, hypocrisy in general is kind of stupid. It's also kind of a contextual thing, I suppose. I mean, this was the second game in the series. DMC was made after the fourth. And both Devil May Cry and Devil May Cry 3 are very challenging games. For different reasons, but they're both games that are made for, you know, the gamers that say, I want to get my ass kicked. Not all the time, of course. Let's be completely fair. DMC and DMC3, the original DMC, not, you know, what's the nickname people gave it? The Waboot? Well, the reboot, anyway. The problem is that came after Devil May Cry 4. And Devil May Cry 4, even though it's definitely easier than Devil May Cry 3, at least on normal mode, I've heard the harder modes are actually harder. God, I am getting my ass kicked. The reboot's problem is it came after these really, truly challenging games. And it didn't live up to the challenge people expected. Granted, this one is easier, but it also came after only the first one. Now, that's not a complete excuse. I mean, it's an excuse. But I think you guys get what I'm saying. And to be completely honest, on normal difficulty, I actually... Or not normal difficulty, on hard difficulty, I actually had some trouble with a boss or two. Oh my god, why wasn't I using this attack? Did you see how badly that ripped his butt open? Oh my goodness, what an attack. Although this episode went on longer than I wanted it to, because I want to keep these around 15 minutes, but this one's almost up to 20. Sorry. I'm not shooting for the 30 minutes or so with most of my LPs, which range from 15 to 30. Whatever. You guys get the point. Either way, thank you guys so much for joining me. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you come back for the next one.